Hello viewers, my name is Sarah Mbinya, a teacher at Kitengela International School, and I am here for a the STEM subject, or rather the STEM pathway in CBC. And before we start us off with STEM, I would like us to link between CBC and 844 and know what are some of the advantages of having CBC as our CBC and 844. CBC is better than 844, and this is the manner that we're going to look at it. I want us to look at how 844 was running, and it was more of theoretical. A student would be having a good grade, finish the primary, go to secondary, have a good grade, go to the university, and then the field of work. So this would be measured on the best grade they would get. If a child got a good grade, they would get a good job. If a child did not get a good grade, depending on the exam that they have been given, this child will not get a good job. Ideally, this child has all the children were put in one basket, and they would be gauged towards the ability to perceive the same type of system of education. But here, CBC is different, whereby CBC is skill-based. What are some of the skills that this student is able to learn? A student is good in cookery, and therefore their pathway is well known up to the end. But as another student is good at coding. In 844, those students were in the same class, and they were purposed, and they were given the same curriculum, and they were purposed to know it and perform well. And in CBC, it has been broken down further into what is manageable for every student. So in CBC, every student matters. And that's why we have gone deeper to know how best can we help our students? How best can we get the best out of every student that we are having in our classes? A student in CBC, a student in a CBC class is equally important because they are wired differently, they are blessed differently, and they are having different knowledge perception towards what they are able to do. For example, having a student who loves computers. Look at a student who loves computers so well. This student, if you give them a computer and give them an hour, they will give you an application. They can give you an app. For example, like one of the teachers was teaching STEM robot yesterday. I would want everyone to look at that because that was very important, and it's part and a major part of STEM. But now, if you give us the same student some cookery items, or they will give that student the agri-nutrition, that student will not be able to manage it. We need to see how best we can do with our students. Now, on with me here, we are going to look at various aspects of CBC and how we are going to move around and help our students so that they're able to work best. Now look here, we have CBC competencies. And when you look at our CBC competencies, the first competency which I want us to focus on is critical thinking. When you give a student this item, when you give a student an item like this, these are just popsicle sticks. If you look at them, they're just popsicle sticks. When you look at them and you give them, one of the students might look at them and think that this is good for eating ice cream. Other student would see a raw product to a finished product. And now the finished product will be this. Now, in our study, we are going to look at how you are able to use these raw materials to get a finished product like this, and how best can you use this finished product. We will be able to see how well we are going to use this finished product. That's a pupil who has used critical thinking. You find that when they are doing this, they may not be alone in that aspect of using these popsicle sticks. We always look at problem solving, creativity. They can use these popsicle sticks in different ways. When you give a student this, they'll give you a different object from this. And we also have teamwork. in CBC, we deal with teamwork. Now, when we are talking about teamwork in CBCs, whereby two students of the same and having a common goal will come together and make something that is very important or something that is very useful. When you look at my table here, you realize that it is literally having items that are just raw materials. These are just newspapers. When you look at them, they're just newspapers that we've just rolled. And when you look at them, ideally before someone would have taken them and used them maybe to light fire. But I'm going to show you how we are going to use this in a few. Now, before we go there, because we are going to go there, I want us to look at some of the importances of learning STEM. And before we continue, I want us to look at STEM and know exactly what STEM is. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the successor of STEM is STEAM. Now, when you look at this, the only change is the A that has come in here, and this is the part which has art. I want to explain why art is very important and why STEM, having STEAM in, is very, very important. Look at this has been made. A student has made this, but they have the mind to put these popsicle sticks together and make something very useful like this. But when you look at it, it's very, very plain. But when you give it to a student who has an artistic mind, can paint it, can draw some few things on it, and it will be more beautiful when it is placed on your table. And because this, for example, we are going to use this maybe to place our pens, assumingly these are our pens, we place them this way, then you place them on the part of on the left part of your table. This will look very beautiful. Why? One, it is locally made, and two, it's an appreciation to a student who has done it. Appreciation to a student who is really working hard to do this. Now, STEM, it works with the problem solving. We solve problems. For example, we have gone to a party, and having gone to a party, we have balloons, and we need these balloons for a reason. But the balloons are not they are here, and we have not done much to these balloons. What can we do? A student who has done STEM will have a pump. This is a homemade pump. When you look at it, it's made from a syringe. Just a syringe and valves. These are the raw materials that you make, just syringes and valves. And that's it. You're able to have your pump in place. When you're having this pump in place, you're able to make the party look good. You're able to make the birthday celebration look better. Now, we are having different materials here, and now I want us to go briefly to each of them and see how best we can make each and how useful they are. We start with what I've been introducing to you, and this is a pencil holder. Pencil holder has been made using normal popsicle sticks. Popsicle sticks are cheap, they are affordable, they are available, and you are able to get them from any source. When you get them, you'll be able to use the glue, the wooden glue. This wooden glue, you only need to use it and organize your popsicle sticks and give it time, and yes, you have your pencil holder in place. Then once you have your pencil holder in place, you can have you arrange your pencils or arrange your stationery and place them beautifully on your table or your working space. Now, secondly, on the same, we decided why not? We can also go hands-free, and we can allow ourselves not to use any money when it comes to making the pencil holder. And then we collected some newspapers. Now, look at these newspapers. These newspapers, we collected them and rolled them. When we roll these newspapers, we get a very smooth, round material that we can use to make a pencil holder. Once you arrange them, you can arrange them, put them together, and then they will stick together using the same wooden glue. Use the same wooden glue. You stick them together and make a very beautiful pencil holder. This one is more flexible than this one, because when you make this one, at the end product, you can make a place where you are able to put them in separate. You have your pens aside, you have your pens on one side, you have your pencil sharpenings. For example, if you're having a student in your class, how do you make them not litter your class? Your class, you've been as a teacher or a prefect in your class, you've been having students all the time littering that class. How would you make these students stop littering the class? The students will feel maybe too lazy maybe to wake up and go to the corner of the class where the dustbin is. How do you make this place more appealing for a student to live, appealing for a student to learn? Now, you can help your students make the pencil sharpenings older. How can you do that? How can you do that? Maybe you look at a situation whereby you have the inner part of the tissue. Now look at the inner part of the tissue. I'm just giving you a clue how one of the ways you can do it. Take the inner part of the tissue. Then once you take the inner part of the tissue, then you make them beautify it. Then fold on one side. The one part of the opening, make sure that it is fully closed. Imagine, as simple as that, you make every child make theirs, place it at the corner of the table, and anytime they sharpen their pencil, they don't have to keep standing and going to the corner of the class. They just have to put their pencil sharpenings there. And at break time, they move, all of them, go and empty their pencil, their small pencil sharpening holder, and come back and stay in their class comfortably. Is our class clean now? Yes, it is clean, and we have not used any money to buy anything, and we have made our environment so comfortable. All right, so we have everything that we need. Those papers that you feel the students have written on them and you don't need them, or photocopied papers, you've just photocopied the wrong work. How can you use these wrong papers? Don't look at them and tear them and put them in the dustbin. What are you supposed to do with these papers? Take these papers, roll them like this, make something from it, and make sure that you have made good use of this. One thing about STEM, it is aiming about environmental change. Environmental change is whereby we don't need to litter the environment. Why would we stay in a dirty environment? When you look at our environment today, everything they don't need, they just dispose. You finished using your cooking oil and you don't need it, you just dispose it. Can we look and every time think, the critical thinking that we are talking about? Can you think about that tin that you are just using and you finished your soda? Yeah, you finished drinking your soda. You need to reuse it. How can you easily reuse it? I'm going to talk about few ways in which you can use this bottle of soda. One, you can use it, cut it into two. You can make a flower vase, beautify it on top, and put some flowers and place it at the center of your dining table. Isn't that not beautiful? It is. Now, that is one way of doing it. The second way, like I have one here. This is a soda bottle. We decided, why not? Why can't we make one like this? And yes, we made one like this, and you can guess what this is. This is a vacuum cleaner. As small as it looks like, this is just a small version of a vacuum cleaner that you use at home. This one you cannot use to clean the floor, but if we made a larger one with a large dynamo, then we are able to use it. Now look at this. Maybe this is the trash. This is the trash that we are having. So if this is the trash that we are having, I want us to see how our vacuum cleaner works. We are having trash here and our house is dirty. This is our small house here. This is our small house here, and yeah, it is dirty and we need to clean it up. And we want to collect the litter. I know one of the ways we can do this is using a broom and maybe collect this litter. But if we have one of us in the house who has made a vacuum cleaner, of course, one of the things that we have used a propeller. Inside here, we have a propeller. I hope you can see. And then we also have the bottle. Ideally, the bottle top that's supposed to be here is inside here. And then we have a dynamo. And then we having the batteries. So this is our vacuum cleaner. Here it is. And then it has a switch, of course. Then you can see the propeller working. Then we'll have it collect our litter. You can see it is collecting, and it collects all our litter in the house. And this our house now is clean. Our house is practically clean. That's what we can make from locally available materials. I mean, you can throw this, yes, but remember you're wasting this. One, you're dirtying the environment, but there's a simpler way of using this. And if you look at this switch, ideally I think this switch is around 10 shillings, and you also have these batteries. They cannot go more than 50 shillings. So with this, you only need the knowledge of this. So that's one of it. Conserving our environment. We've just conserved our environment. And then we also have when you look at this, we are having these two. Now, these two are the same. I want to explain why I have these two with me here. When you look at them, this one is made of carton. The cartons that we dispose, you've just removed something from your carton, maybe your TV, and you feel this thing is just wasting. So you just wrap it and throw it in the dustbin. Now, one way of using this is this is a tic-tac-toe. This is called a tic-tac-toe, whereby you play a game. I don't know who is ready. You can come, we play a game. We play games so that we may, at times we get bored, and it's not all the time that you're on the TV and trying to watch everything on the TV. At times it's off TV, and then you just play a game. So you are having, it's a game that is played by two people. This is also brings collaboration. When we are in our houses, majorly we'll have our students or our learners always on their phones. When our learners are on the phones, you realize most of the time they are alone. So you can have two children in the house and they have barely talked since morning to the evening. And therefore you find that their bond is not coming up together so well. But with this kind of a thing, you just use locally available, nothing. These are cartons. These are just cartons, and then you draw them, just using the pens that they use in school. Then now they're able to play. This game, when one wins, they laugh at the other, and the other one wins, and they laugh at the other one, and it becomes fun in the house, and your children are bonding. So you play together. So when one person is here and the other one is here, once you play, and you realize this person on this side has won. Why? The zeros are on one side, and maybe you keep moving. One is winning, the other one is losing, and at the end of the day, you find one has won, and then tomorrow is a better day, and then they will look forward for a better tomorrow. Why? CBC has come into place. Now, this one is equally the same as this one. Now, look at this. This is just cardboard that has been used. When you look at it, it's just an improved version of this. This is a cardboard that has been used. Now, when you look at this cardboard, you realize that these ones are just the leftovers of what was being used when somebody was constructing something. Maybe they were constructing a cupboard, and there are those small cuttings that were there. And I mean, they were just thrown. Once they are thrown, we look at them, and when we look at them, we don't see waste. We see a raw product to a finished, raw materials to a finished product, and this is what you come up with. So this is a better version of this. So you keep playing, and your children will look forward to a better day. These are not the only games that we can do. We have done very, very many games that we can teach people to do from one time to another. So you just need some sticks. You can see they're just sticks. You remove them. That goes through, and the other one goes through here, and we have these parts that are cutting across, and then you have yourself a game that your children look forward to tomorrow. Why? Because they want to defeat that sibling who they defeated yesterday. So again, we have this. We have this. This is a safe. I know one of the things that our children are doing is they're saving a lot. And And when our children are saving a lot, they keep asking us, buy me a piggy bag and something like that, which is okay. But can we make one from the home? Yes, we can. This is one of the items that we have made. When you look at it, it's just the same wood that has been used with this. And then we have some sticks. I think we are just passionate with this. And then we have the inches, just that. All right? And then here, when you look at it, you cannot open it. So it has a cord. When you look at it, we put it behind here, the cord, so that you're able to open. So when you open it, this is, our code here is 254, our country, 254. So when you, this is 254. And yeah, we can open our safe. Now we have opened our safe. When you look at our safe very well, it has, this is how it has been made inside. It's something that you just roll and you make very simple things. So how do you store your money? Someone may be asking, how do you store your money? One of the ways that you can use, now we've closed our safe. This is very, very much closed. It cannot be opened. So one of the ways that you can store your money, this place behind here, and also you can make a hole up here so that you're able to store your money, either in form of coins or in form of notes, or whichever way you want to store your money. Then at the end of the day, you can have this made by your parent, the code by your parents, so that you don't open and buy small key or small cha. Now, good. We also have, this is a lampshade. This is a lampshade. Look at it. Very beautiful. This is a lampshade, not bots. This is a lampshade, yeah? Now, when you look at our houses, we have a bulb, right? When you have that bulb, you can fix it in a way that it will look very, very beautiful. Now, someone can ask me, how do you make this lampshade? Looks very beautiful, but I don't know how I can make this. Imagine we made this just by use of a balloon, just a balloon. A balloon, I think, costs 10 shillings, 5 to 10 shillings. A balloon, then we have the sisal. This is purely sisal. Sisal, I think, cannot cost more than 20 to 25 shillings. And then after we do sisal, then we did a bit of glue. Then you do the patterns that you want. The artistic part that I was talking about, the STEAM, the art part. If you may give someone, they would wonder, how do I even take these straps? Where do I take them? But someone who is artistic, they will make you something. They will even make some good corners. They will do it beautifully. This is what we purpose to do, and it is very beautiful. Believe you me, I wish there was a bulb here. You would see how best it could work. So this is part of CBC. Why should we train our students this thing? Before I continue with what I'm having on table, why should we train our students this? When I was starting, I said, in 844, everyone maybe would get an A and they go to the university, and after university, they have done maybe actuarial science, and everyone is looking for that best student from the university, yeah? But here in CBC, there's no A student, there's no B student, there's no C student, there's no D student, there's no E student. Ideally, everyone is best at what they do. And when everyone is best at what they do, I am a teacher here. I'm teaching a student, or I am in the teaching sector. Then there's someone who is so artistic, and they have this. I'll go and buy from them. Remember, from the junior secondary, or the junior school, sorry, not secondary, the junior school, they'll go to senior school. And at senior school, that is when they have the STEM, then they have the languages, and also they have the arts and the arts, all right? So when those who go to arts, we will need them, because those who are in STEM will not be able to do what they are able to do. For example, this person has finished and they're wondering, I think I can sell this thing at the way it looks like. But you see, it is not as appealing. If this person bonds again or partners with another person who is artistic, they will make some very good, beautiful art on this thing, and you would wonder whether it is the same thing. So these people are talented differently, and they need each other. Look here, immediately after senior school, one can go directly to the field of work. After senior school, one can go directly to the field of work. Now, if you go to the field of work, you cannot go to the field of work with an 844 mind. You can only go to the field of work with a CBC mindset. A CBC mindset is an innovative mind. An innovative mind will know that when I have these things that have been thrown here, I can use them and make something constructive and sell it in the market. Now, this one makes makes one to be able to identify the market gap. If someone wants to leave the senior school, they have left senior school and they have realized, I don't want to go to the university. That's very okay. If they want to go to the university, still okay. Maybe, all of us will not be in this. There will be lecturers, there will be other people. If someone wants to go to the university and maybe further their education and go to become a lecturer, then this is perfectly okay. And someone can leave senior school and go directly to the field of work. And the field of work, they will have made very many things because they have a CBC mindset. And this CBC mindset cannot be wired just for 1 year or 2 years. This is something that should be built up. And that's why with our students, we are building them up as early as now. They're building them up in this way, in a way that at the end of grade 9, by the time they are going to their pathways, one student is going to STEM, the other student is going to the languages, the other student is going to the arts. They exactly understand, why am I going to STEM? Because my mind and everything, my passion and everything is wired there. Back in our times, our parents used to tell us, I want you to be a doctor. I mean, they don't even care whether you love music or you love drawing, but they want you to be a doctor. Now it's not the issue of, I want you to be a doctor in my house. It's about what is best for that student. And what is best for that student is what we expect the parent to keep telling the child, go, I am behind you, I am supporting you in this. And that's why we need us to understand as parents. That time parents really complained about they're too much involved in this CBC. And let me tell you, you need that involvement in CBC. Why? You need to understand why your child is doing so much of crocheting, and they love it, and they can crochet a very good sock. I mean, they do some socks and they will sell. That's why even at the moment, some of the students are earning. And how are they earning? A student will do a very nice scarf. And after they do a very nice scarf and they bring me, teacher, how are you? I did this scarf. And if it's so beautiful, you have nothing, I am supposed to support this child. So support this child and make them make another one and another one. Of course, supporting them, I have to show them that this is part of entrepreneurship. So I don't tell them, I'm your teacher, give it to me. No, it's the wrong thing. I am supposed to tell them this one cost this and this and this. So I'll give them maybe 1,000 shillings for a scarf. And they've made it so neat. And that is their passion. But sometimes you find our parents, you don't want your child to keep crocheting. You want your child to go to robotics, or you want your child to go to coding. Now you need to make sure that you just support your child where they are. For example, look at this mat. This mat was made by one of our students. Look at this mat. If I make a mat like this, or a student makes a mat and writes something very, very beautiful, and they write welcome. Majorly we go to the market and buy mats that are written welcome, they're written we love you, they're written very, very nice writings. But this one is made by a student. If they make 10 of them and they go to the market and sell them, believe me, this is a point of earning. And that's why a student will not need to go to the university if they have already acquired the right skills. Listen, I want to emphasize here, don't say that, just say that it's not a must for us to go to university. Have you acquired the right skills before you say, I think this is enough for me? All right? So the key thing in CBC is the skill. Do you have the right skill for us to manage? Because everyone will leave their field. Student A will leave with exceeding expectation in art. Another one will leave with exceeding expectation in STEM. Another one will live in exceeding expectation in mathematics and something like that. These students will meet outside here. Who is the employer? And who is the employee? Before you understand this, a quick student will have grown the mind, and they will be able to to employ themselves and even start employing those who are still upcoming in their skill. Now, we also have other items like this one. This is also a game that we make. And this game is very simple. When you look at it, it's a very simple game. Actually, it was made by one of the students. You can see his name is right here. Kudos Benjamin Kioko for that. This is a game that we do. So here you write a question, and here you write the answers. Now look at it. These are just questions, random questions, and then these ones are just random answers. For example, the first question is, who was the first president of Kenya? Who was the first president of Kenya? So you look at it, these are the tags that we put in every question. So look at this. The first one is Uhuru, Tanzania, Isaac Newton, Mary, and Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Now we keep looking for the answers. Here we have our, place it here and then here. So we look at it. This one, so not Uhuru. So this is not Tanzania. Who was the first president of Kenya? So the first president of Kenya is Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. So when you place it here, it lights. So it will be able to light to show that that is the right answer. So this is also a game that you do while learning. This is a game that you do while learning. So you only need a battery. This is the smallest battery. I think it's 5 shillings. When you buy them at wholesale, this is 5 shillings. And then you need the wires, and then you need, we've just closed here because the wires are intertwined here. And then you play your game while learning. You can have, even as a parent, you can make it one for the students, and then you give them just to see how much they have understood, just to see how much they are loving this, just to see, do they understand who was the first president of Kenya? You can even use the following, the mathematical formulas. Then we have, wow, this is rocket science. We are going to tag up video on rocket science, on using of rockets. Look at this. This is a rocket that we made, and this is a carton. When you look at this, is a carton, and then we are having a bottle inside here. We are having a bottle inside here. Inside here, we are going to use water, ideally just water, and then we will close it up, and then when you look at this, this is just very sharp. We don't intend to use very hard materials, because if you use very hard materials, then if it happens to go very far, and it means someone who is not very ready, ideally that person might get hurt. So we just use manila paper. This is simple manila paper, and then we have this. Then we'll just put water here. There will be a video that will be tagged in this video that is showing us doing this experiment, and this is very beautiful, and the children get very excited about this. So it needs a lot of pressure about this, and when we are having this, it can go as far as 50 meters up. And it's something that children really enjoy, and they do it so well. So when you make a student make this for the first time, and it works, this child is triggered to do better. This child is triggered. What else can I do? I mean, this is just something that has gone to space. Critical thinking. This child will not be left with Imeenda and then it's coming back. It's not something that they'll take it for granted. It's something they'll need to do better on it. And so they'll go and try making another one. We also have this one. This is also rocket, but you have to mix some few things inside here so that you're able to make it. Of course, when you make this, you ensure that you have all the materials intact, something that we do, and the students are having fun while do it, because CBC we learn in a way like the Montessori way, using play. If a student does this and they see it's moving, I mean, who doesn't want to do it once again and see it do it? And the more they do it, the more they familiarize with this and they make it happen again and again. Now look at this. Now look at this. This is an organizer. Now look at it. This is just cardboard, the one that we just collected after you threw it and you realize those are small pieces that cannot help. They cannot help. So what do? We made a safe. And when you look at it, it is safe space. You are able maybe to put your earrings here, and you're able to put your necklaces here, and you're able to put something else that you need here. Now you can close it. In the event that you do not have enough space, then you can close it up, and then you can open it up in the event that you want to use it, and maybe place it on your table, maybe when you're doing your makeup and you're making a bigger part of this. We just use the same things, cardboard. When you throw it, we pick it up and make it to something good. So this is something that you can manage to do and work and get the best out of it. Now, finally, I want us to look at this is the bicycle, the pump that I was talking about. I want to see, does this thing work? This is only a syringe, just one syringe, and these are valves, just 2 valves. And this valve is directed outwards, and this valve is directed inwards for the reasons of the pressure that is being pushed. When you push this way, this one is supposed to bring air in, but this one is supposed to not to bring the air out. So this one, when you push it this way, this one is supposed to make sure the air goes out towards the balloon. But this one, you should make sure that you are able to pull it back so it pulls the air inside. That's why this one is moving to the inside. Let's see whether it works, because after you do anything or you make something, you need to see, is it really working, or it's something that cannot work. So we have our balloon here. We need to find out, is it working? Something that you can make very fast, assuming you find people stranded and they don't know what to do, and it's a party and it's your birthday and you don't want to miss this out. What do? You make a quick hack and make sure that people are enjoying. Let's see whether we are going to enjoy our party here. Because if we do not have our, I realized I had not put this well, so we put it very well so that air does not come out. Air does not come out. So we put this well. And see, are we going to enjoy our, wow. So it can only take you 5 minutes for a good made pump to have all your balloons done. And then you'll have to celebrate your birthday. So it's something that you can make using very locally available materials, and then you are good to go. So look at this and look how best it can do. So this is it. We can still continue, but we've managed to see we have several of them that we have made, and therefore it's something that we need to try in our households. Now we also have this. Now when you look at this is a tape dispenser, whereby we are maybe in a supermarket and we need to have this done. Now we have to seal some few things, but we do not know what to do. And maybe at that time we do not have money to buy a tape dispenser. Instead of keeping to pull your tape and then cutting it with your teeth or maybe your scissors, you just need to make a tape dispenser. Ideally, this tape dispenser, we've made it from carton. When you look at it very close, we just painted it. This is made from carton, and we have a small saw here that we use to cut. So ideally, you have this. I just fix it. You have this, and then you put your tape inside there, and once you put your tape inside there, you fix it here. Once you put it inside there, imagine you have your tape dispenser, and anytime you want to use it, you just need to pull it and then you cut. Once you do this, you realize that you have saved on money. Remember, we say we're using the locally available materials to achieve what we want, and so we are trying to use the locally available materials, and we realize this locally available materials that we are having. For example, this is our tape. We want to cut it. We only need to. And then we have cut our tape, and maybe we wanted to fix it somewhere. We fix it very fast, and maybe we are serving a customer, maybe in the supermarket or somewhere. We've served that customer and they have left the table. So ideally, STEM is a subject that we need to introduce. And when we introduce, it's not just science, about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We've seen that art is there. An art student is a STEM student. And how is it a STEM student? They are artistic. Their minds can compose. Their minds can perceive. Their minds can see that which we are not able to see as a student. And therefore, it's something that we need to work about. Now, look, this is a project that we are ongoing with. When you look at me, these ones we go to parties and maybe some chamas, and after eating, these are plastic spoons. After eating, we dispose them. Everyone is throwing them, and they say these are disposables. But after you dispose them, we'll collect them and make you a very good flour out of this. And that's how everything that is a finished product comes from a raw material. And that raw material would have been something that you must have thrown, or someone must have thrown. They did not see the need for it, or something like that. So it's something that you need to work on. So as I conclude this, maybe we can, because I have very many popsicles here, we can maybe try making a popsicle. It takes time for it to dry, but we can make one. It will dry in the process. So I want us to make one like this and see how best do we do this. I have a surface that is very flat. We can use this for a flat surface. And having this, you need to have your glue. Hey, this thing. I don't know, this thing is not opening. Sasa. A CBC student, this one has not opened, but we need to use it. So what do we do? We need to open it. So we just opened it. And therefore you use just one of the, you don't need to use your fingers, you don't need to dirty yourself, you just use one of the popsicles to make it. So you're making the foundation of this, so you place your popsicles together. You place them together. The same way you're making this is the same way you can use the old newspaper one and make a very beautiful one. Actually, the newspaper one is more beautiful. Why? Because it has different drawings. We just don't tamper with the newspapers. So you make sure that you use minimal glue. Remember, you don't need to waste. And then you place it. You just apply like this. Make sure that this one sticks closely to this other one. Don't use so much glue because it will go to waste. Remember, we are saving. So you need to make sure that you're using things minimally. So you can try this at home. Your daughter, your son can make you one for the office, and then you will be a very proud parent when you sit at your office and you're having, pick your pens, pick your stationery from something that the son and your daughter has made for you. Now, I want to, as we do this together, I want to urge all the parents, when you look at your student or when you look at your daughter or son, don't look at them and think they're blank. No, I've interacted with those students, and believe you me, those students are not blank. I know we feel they're children, but ideally, yes, they are children, but they are children who have minds that are developing. And remember, they have a creator was created them, and as developed. We can place this one on this side. I think everyone now is able to see. So you do this. So we want to make a small one because of time. So from there now, you apply this here. So like I was saying, make sure that ask your student, what is it that you can do for me? I mean, just probe them, see what is it that they can do. There's something they can make you and you wonder, is this my son? Is this my daughter? I have one student in my class who was always fond of computers, and I kept wondering, why are you always in the computer lab? Good thing that this student was not missing any lesson. So I allowed them to be the computer lab so long as they do things right. And so this student made a calculator. They were always in the computer. So every time you see your son, your daughter engage in something positively, please try and find out what is that positive thing that they have seen there. Believe you me, there's something positive they have seen. Let us support our students. Let us support our sons. Let us support our daughters so that we are able to gather this. Remember, we are bringing them up with skills. They don't need to be employed. Employment is good, however, they don't need to be employed for them to survive. When they have the skills, they can earn from the skill. So you keep doing this and placing them. Make sure that it's a beautiful one. We can make of a different shape from this one. So we use this and make it look very good. I am not an artistic person, so if I want this to be more beautiful, believe you me, I will get someone who is good at art to make it very beautiful for me. And that's how collaboration comes in. That's how collaboration comes in. I have made something, yes. My mind has has figured out something, but I am not a monopoly of knowledge. I am not a monopoly of knowledge. So because I'm not a monopoly of knowledge, I believe that someone is good at something and I want to get the best out of them. So what do? I need to involve them. I need to engage them in what I am doing and tell them, hey, I have made this, but I want it to look more beautiful. And that's not good collaboration at its best, which is one of the key competencies in CBC. Another competence, which is self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is just the ability to do something. When you are in the house and maybe you have, when you in the house and you have a student and they get in the kitchen and they bring you a cake. Out of the blues, you've not taught them how to do a cake, but maybe they have gone to YouTube or they have studied it in school. That's a plus. That's a skill they are learning. Believe you me, they can make birthday cakes in your area and make money as early as now. So anything that you find your student trying or your son try, make sure that you support them, because once you support them, it's something that is very positive. Like I said, this thing will take time. You do it in phases so that it dries. When you hurry like we are doing, it will not dry. Like the ones down there, we gave it time. It's stable, so it's stuck. It's okay. So this one, we need to give it time, it dries. So you need to be very, very patient with it. Of course, nothing comes easy, so you have to be very patient with this, and then you will make anything of your choice. And then it will be very beautiful. And you'll be very, very excited to use that which you have made, handmade, the skill. That's what we are talking about. The skill, that is what we are trying to teach students. Have a skill. That skill is what will pay in the future. So I am so grateful for you having listening to me, and I wish you all the best. I would wish, try this and many more. Believe you me, you realize the many things that you felt were a waste in your house. They're very, very important to you, and you'll be very proud when you see that which is in your house is that which you have made. Locally available materials are there. We can put time into what we want. Just need time and you get the best. I was your teacher, I was your instructor, I was your facilitator. Teacher Sarah Mbinya from Kitengela International. If you want to get more of this, please pass by, please come, and you'll find us there, and you'll find us doing much of this. God bless you so much. See you next time.